Okay, this bug fix was the biggest nerf in the game. This is a bigger nerf than they gave Diva. World of Warcraft, cool. Okay. Oh, that's sick. Oh, that's sick. Okay. All right. Here we go, boys. Okay. Please don't be bad, please. Oh my goodness. All right. We don't care about this. Roll Q Mystery Heroes. We don't care. Competitive updates. So, armor flat damage reduction decreased from 10 to 7 per impact. It was 5 before. So, it was 5 before. It was 5 before they buffed it to 10, I believe. Chat, can you guys fact check me on that? I believe that this was 5 before. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. It's still better than it was before, which is very, very, very alarming. We'll come back to this. I'll see what they do with the rest of the tanks first. Because they nerf a lot of the other parts of tank. I might not be against them having slightly better armor. But I'm not a fan of armor. It feels terrible to play against, but we'll give it a whirl, okay? Tank, roll passive. Knockback resistance reduced from 40 to 25%. Hot take, I would rather them have more knockback resistance and still give me ult charge. But that's just me personally. But okay, at least something. Did they not take away the headshot? They nerfed that and not the headshot passive? Dude. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay. If they nerfed like a lot of the survivability outside of that, then maybe the headshot passive can stay. But this is not a lot in my opinion. I much rather would have seen the headshot passive get nerfed than anything else. Okay. Diva. Mech armor health reduced from 375. That's it. That's it. That's all they did? That's all they did to her? Are you kidding? What? That's all they did? Not the micro missiles? Nothing? Nothing else? We'll come back to this. Wow. I'm shocked. This should have been way more. Why is her time to kill? Like, yeah, she was that tanky, but her time to kill with things like micro missiles against 225 HP targets is ridiculously OP. Guys, come on, man. Read the comments. There's been a lot of community feedback surrounding Diva lately. On average, she hasn't been overperforming, but she's quite difficult to take down. So we're shifting some of her armor to normal health to reducing her max combined health by 25 armor. Okay, wait a minute. So wait. So this actually isn't wait. Okay. Okay, wait. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. So we're shifting her armor to normal health, reducing her max combined health by 25 armor. With armor's effectiveness being hit in the same patch, we'll keep an eye on how this plays out and adjust it as necessary. The reality is this might be as good as it can get in 5v5, guys, with how much they've buffed tanks. This won't stop until they go back to 6v6. Until they can, like, oh my goodness. Okay, we'll come back. None of these heroes need buffs, please. Please stop buffing tanks, man. Please stop. Developer comment. We don't want Orisa to easily chase enemies down while fortified, so there's not much you can do to fight back during that time. Kind of like Diva sitting on you right now. So while we're not removing the movement speed penalty entirely, we're lowering it to a point where we feel much better, where Orisa will feel much better to use. I can understand that for Orisa players. It's just, I'm trying to, like, to be honest, guys, like, I'm trying to decide how I feel about all this stuff, because I think, and genuine question here, I know most of my chat are 6v6ers, but, you know, I think, unfortunately, this just doesn't ever get better. I think, unfortunately, like, until we're out of 5v5 roll lock, like, this is just what it's going to be. And, like, I kind of forgot that myself, too. Like, I'm trying to expect them to understand this stuff. But, like, the reality is there's just no solution. This is just going to be what it is. So, okay. Not a fan of this. Why? Just why? Leave him on his farm. This is a reversion to Roadhog's previous resource regeneration rate to improve his primary tanking abilities uptime. There were several adjustments to reduce the power of this ability, but they may not have necessarily been necessary, as Roadhog has been underperforming for some time now. Maybe Hog is not underperforming because of his own abilities. Maybe in 5v5 roll lock, when you buff things like armor and you do all these things to a ton of different characters, there's just no way for him as a hero to outshine a character like Diva or Ramattra. It has nothing to do with how strong Hog is. It's just how broken the other tanks are. So the answer is to nerf the other tanks. It is not to power creep Hog. Do you guys see the endless power creep loop that having one hero per role, especially as the tank, creates? This is just not the answer. Like, this is not the answer. And they're just going to keep jumping down this rabbit hole until we go to 6v6, sadly. I cannot believe this is all they did to tanks. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe it. It's incredible. Sigma's damage, interesting. Okay, well, why? The shift in damage from Hyperspear's direct impact in the explosion component is to improve the effectiveness of airburst explosion when playing at max range and makes it more threatening against tightly grouped enemies. So we're rewarding the Sig spam. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think Sigma is such a powerful character that you should probably have to hit your shots. But man, for build rate, guys, for like building Flux, this is going to be huge. This is going to be huge for building Flux. They made Sigma's AoE better. Oh man, this is a big buff to Sigma, and it doesn't damage him anymore. So this is a huge buff to Sigma. Big buff to Sig here. All right, that somehow, some way, that's it for tanks. We'll circle back to this later. The spread reduction is intended to improve assault mode's effectiveness against range against smaller targets while not changing much in regard to how good it is against tank heroes to fit their large size. Okay, Bastion buffs. He definitely was on the weaker side of things, I would say, right now. Again, it's just because like he can't do anything against D.Va. Like he can't really do anything against these super tanks because they buffed them past the point of like getting punished. That was their design goal. They wanted to make these tanks true raid bosses. Right? They wanted to make these tanks true raid bosses. So, you know, now we're seeing more power creep to the power creep. Common theme here, right? I think Bastion definitely was struggling a little bit. So, giving him something. And artillery is just a bad ult. So, that's honestly fine. Like getting this ult faster is fine because the ult just kind of sucks, to be honest with you. Okay. We're reducing how impactful the hinder effect is by lowering its duration, as this crowd control can be a significant source of frustration for players since there's now less time to follow up with shots from the weapon while the opponent is hindered. We're increasing the explosion damage of Flashbang. So increase the damage, decrease the stun. I can agree with that vision. Honestly, these DPS changes have been fine so far. That's a lot of damage. But guys, you have to remember, like, health pools are also higher too. So that's quite a bit of damage. I wonder what breakpoints that changes. 75 is quite a bit, actually. 75 is quite a bit. Wait, that's like half a Tracer's health. Wait a minute. That's a shitload of health. That's like, whoa. Wait a minute. What does that do to 225 targets? Can he flash one-shot them in the head? Okay, we'll take a look at that after. We'll take a look at these breakpoints after. And Deadeye got buffed too. Wow. Okay. That's surprising. Interesting. Okay, they're trying to bring back Cass and Brawl, I guess. Hanzo. This change... Hey! They finally walked it back! Wait. Hold on. Okay. This change restores Hanzo's one-shot headshot. It's 200. Okay, they finally realized how awful that was in Season 9. Jeez Louise. They will require more accuracy with the smaller projectile size, now slower to charge shots. Why'd they make it slower to charge shots? To reduce the frequency of projectiles being thrown out. Why would you not nerf Storm Arrow then? Like, okay. After trying recent iteration of Hanzo post Season 9, we feel that one-shot capability is too essential to the core gameplay feel of those sniper heroes, similar to Widowmaker, without much larger of a rework. Being limited to smaller range of heroes that could be one-shot 225 below added some texture to the hero matchups, but it wasn't satisfying compromise for either side. Do you guys see how, like, we're slowly just undoing Season 9? Season 9 was one of the worst things they could have done for the balance of the game. Like, I think I had a video in the works about it. I'm glad they're starting to undo it, but while we're at it, guys, just undo the entire season. Revert everything back to Season 8. Revert everything back to Season 8. It's time. This picking favorites with breakpoints has not helped anybody. It's made it really hard for your balance team who already struggles to make this work. I do not think Season 9 was healthy for the game. And honestly, it's aged like milk, in my opinion. I think some of the other stuff they've done in the game has actually been pretty good post-Season 9. But from a balance standpoint, that just wasn't the answer, in my opinion. I just don't think that was the answer. I think the breakpoints being what they were super important. Now, here's a problem. I'm not going to celebrate yet, okay? Because this is a big nerf right here. This is a lot of muscle memory. This is a lot of muscle memory here. So having to charge arrows longer, you guys need to put bloom on your crosshair. It's crazy that they're nerfing this, but not Storm Arrow. Storm Arrow is what should be nerfed on Hanzo. It is this, like... And here's what I'm going to challenge them with nicely, okay? Where did they say this? Reduce shots to reduce the frequency of projectiles being thrown out, okay? Right? The only projectiles that get chucked out are storm arrows. And if you go back and look at every single old Hanzo player from OG Hanzo and onward, every one of us have said storm arrow is what should be nerfed. Storm arrow is what should be nerfed. This should not be a thing, and they should reduce the storm arrow count because that is the spammy part of Hanzo's kit. But otherwise, I do think this is the right direction for Hanzo. I will say, to be crystal clear, this is the right direction for Hanzo. This is what he always should have been. It's better. I'm sad that we haven't seen any Dragon Strike changes yet. I think the way they changed Dragon Strike wasn't great, but this is definitely the right direction for Hanzo. I wouldn't do this, though. I think they should nerf Storm Arrow. That's just my opinion. Also, reducing the projectile size is smart. Okay. All right. Venture was really good against 225. So nerfing Venture's shield health from 40 to 30 should help a little bit. I still think they're really good secretly. Like, secretly, Venture is definitely one of the better prog heroes that people don't play as much. But I think this is, guys, why are they nerfing DPS properly, but not super tanks? These have been good. These have been good changes in the DPS role. Why are they not doing this to the tanks? DPS is, I know 5v5. I know it's terrible. I know. But dude, these are solid changes. These are actually solid. I don't think they change a lot because DPS isn't the big problem in the game right now. If they, okay, hold on. Oh, Jesus. Moira's ultimate didn't feel... Whoa. Oh, man. So let me get this straight. We're now compensating Moira's ult's damage that has way more control post Season 9. I might coin this. Season 9, the worst patch for Overwatch's long-term health in the history of the game. So we do it to Moira's ult, but we don't do it to Dragon Strike? We don't do it to Genji? Come on, man. See, this is my problem with Season 9. They just pick and choose which heroes get to benefit. It can't happen organically. This is really unhealthy hero design. So it's like, okay, maybe Moira's Coalescence health should go up with the damage, but how are we going to pick that over Genji and Hanzo? You guys see what I'm saying? This is why Season 9 needs to get reverted. It was a horrible idea for the long... Like, it was a good one-off. Let me rephrase. It was a good one-off, but you got to revert it. Stop trying to balance it because you're just... In the end, you're just picking and choosing favorites. This is a big buff to Moira. Big buff to Moira. Not that bad, Imo. With tanks being fragile, she won't have much opportunity to damage. Moira? Guys, this is a huge buff. This is a huge buff against squishies. Huge buff. Huge buff. All right, they're increasing Life Weaver's Thorn Volley from 80 to 100. The increased firing duration for Thorn Volley will now give Life Weaver more damage presence. I actually like what they're doing with Weaver. I'm really happy that they're giving him more damage instead of focusing on his brainless healing as well as his life grip. This is the direction they should take the character. I'm glad that they adjusted Hanzo properly because after they adjusted Weaver to let him pre-charge his heal, I think they should continue to take Life Weaver in this type of direction away from his easy brainless sustain and give him more lethality that encourages players to be lethal with him. I actually think that that's probably the direction they should go. So this is a good direction here. Honestly, a lot of this stuff has been good today. Zen. Oh. With the current addition of more speed boosts in the game, Zen and generally more poke-oriented team compositions by extension have fallen off quite a bit due to how immobile and vulnerable he can be. We tried increasing his health in the past, but it's even been proven to be problematic, so instead we're leaning into his glass cannon nature. Okay. I'm curious how that stacks with Discord. But that's probably the direction Zen should be in. That's probably the direction... Oh, and they buffed Discord's cooldown. Okay, yeah, that's going to help him quite a bit, I think. I think with Moira being her ult buffed, we'll see. I still think the tanks are so tanky it doesn't matter. But we'll see. And that's it. Okay. Let's go piece by piece here. So they somehow didn't touch Ram aside from armor. This is not enough of a nerf. I'm not gonna lie. They did not nerf tanks enough. I'm sorry, tank players. Listen, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, tank players. I'm sorry, but your role is fucked until they get rid of 5v5 roll lock. Generally speaking, I don't think this patch changes a whole lot, especially with the power creep. Like, I would say they turned the power creep knob up from like 4 or 5 to like 9.5, and then now they've turned it back down to like 7.5. That knob is still tuned way too high. And this is the tank passive that most of them should keep. They should keep this passive. They should lose the headshot reduction. Tanks that have armor that is buffed should not have the headshot reduction passive. Tanks that do not have armor should have the headshot reduction passive. And this is why role passives should not be in the game. No hero should passively deny value to the degree they do at Overwatch 2. And this is the reality of Overwatch 2. It is a dumbed down kiddie pool version of Overwatch 1. Okay, this bug fix was the biggest nerf in the game. This is a bigger nerf than they gave D.Va. It was a bug fix. I mean, this is just not enough for tank nerfs. This is just not enough for tank nerfs. Buffing Orisa and Hog is psychotic, considering, like, just wait and see on them. Like, they shouldn't buff them at all. Like, at all, they shouldn't get buffed. But again, in 5v5 role lock, in order to spice up the tank meta, they have to be constantly buffing and nerfing things because it is so hard for all of these tanks to compete for one spot. It's generally gonna be whichever tank they buff the most. Format problem, right? It's just, it really sucks. Now, they walked some of the stuff back, but again, I would say the dial was at like 9.5. It was at like 4 or 5. They dialed it up to about 9.5, and now they've dialed it down to 7.5. And it's like, guys, that's still bad. So again, these tanks have too many passive, too many things. It's a failed format. Move on. Stop trying. Huge sig buffs too, by the way. Not a fan of what they did to tank. I think this is not nearly enough for D.Va. She just shouldn't be able to delete you as well. It's just, and well, honestly, guys, let me be honest. Maybe I'm wrong, and that might just be what heroes in 5v5 have to be. This might be a 5v5 issue for me, not a specific balance issue. So I want to be clear about that. I don't know if it's fair for me to say that because, again, what do you do with D.Va if she can't do that? What do you do with D.Va if she can't do that? She's not a hero. She has no identity. She's not a hero. So just another massive oversight from the decision from old Team 4 to go to 5v5 role lock, broken format. Tank roll will never be fixed. It will never be better than Overwatch 1. It will be worse for everybody. And until they go back to 6v6, it will not get any better than this. And it's really unfortunate that that is the case. DPS changes, I think, are actually pretty damn good. I would say I'm gonna give them a pass on tanks because it's actually unsolvable. So they get a pass on tanks. Unsolvable. Armor should have been nerfed more, though. That's the only thing I'll say. This is a good change. Bastion's just kind of falling off. You can't really play them. Cast change is interesting. I'm worried that this is too much damage. Hanzo changes are good aside from the fully charged thing. They still need to address Dragon Strike and revert Season 9. Season 9 should be hard reverted by next season. By the time 6v6 comes out, Season 9 should be hard reverted. Bench jerk changes are good. Doesn't change a whole lot, but still good. Moira buffs. This is going to be really strong for Moira. Life Weaver changes. This is a good direction for him. Zen changes are pretty good too. I honestly, guys, I'll be real. I don't think this changes anything for the high-level meta where Ram was getting played a lot with D.Va as well. Ram is going to be insanely tanky. Super, super broken hero right now. Juno, going to be super strong. Juno, Brig not catching nerfs is kind of crazy. I guess Brig indirectly got nerfed because armor got nerfed slightly. I mean, I don't think this changes much about the meta other than you might see less D.Va in ranked. You might see less D.Va in ranked. You might see more Hanzo in ranked. Let's hop in the practice range and check this out real quick. What are some of the things that we need to check out?
Honor is all I have left.
That feels fucking horrible.
Double kill.
Wait.
Willpower burns
Double
within me.
kill.
That feels so bad.
Double kill. Triple kill.
Death surrounds me.
Dude, that feels terrible. Oh no, why? Dude, why? Just, oh no, I take it back. It feels bad.
Double kill. Triple kill.
Dude, I'm gonna stroke. I'm gonna freak out. Please just nerf Storm Arrow, guys.
Triple kill. Quadruple.
And these are 200 HP targets too, by the way. They're not 250. Like, you're just gonna get one, like, that actually makes him horrible. Oh no. I'm like, dude,
Double kill.
why do they do this? Just get, like,
All lives come to an end.
One you'll ever face.
They added a delay? Oh, they added a delay into that. Wait a minute. They nerfed the shit out of her. She can't 2-tap anymore. Look. That's a huge nerf. That's a huge nerf to Ashe. Let's see. Ooh, that's pretty good.
I'm really feeling the heat.
All right, I was going to say, I was about to freak out. If that one-shot her, I was going to freak out. Okay. Oh, yeah, Zen. That's right, yeah.
Amid discord,
Double kill. Triple kill.
the more one takes, the less one has.
Let's take a look at armor.
Come on. Come on.
Pride cannot protect you.
Double kill. Systems impaired.
Rest
By the
your
way, that's
soul.
open queue health pool, by the way. That's not live health pool. Okay. All right, let's give this a whirl, boys.